Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name's Amani and I wanted to do a video on the struggles of Revert and Revert families. I feel like this topic is really sensitive and it's not really spoken about much in detail, I think, in the community, and it's just really important topic to me, and I feel like I just want to share my views and opinions about this topic because I've spoken to a few people who are reverts and the struggles that they've gone through, and also I want to talk a bit about my struggles. This is not generalizing all reverts and revert families and their situations. This is just based on my findings from what I've read and who I've spoken to, and from my own experience. So everyone is welcome to their own opinions. You can agree and disagree with the points that I'm making, but I'm not trying to offend or hurt anyone. I'm just expressing my opinions and my views, and I would just like to share it and get some feedback on what other reverts and also born Muslims, their views on this. So I'm just going to talk a bit about myself. So my name is Amani, as I said in the beginning of the video. I'm 21 years old. I'm born in London, United Kingdom, and I have 6 brothers. I'm the only girl, which is hard, but it also has its advantages. I would say the disadvantages is that I don't really have a female who I'm close with or who is going through the same situation as me, and yeah, just it's a bit hard. It gets lonely at times, but the advantages are I have my own space. I don't have to share anything with my brothers, and I feel like it's made me a more independent person, which I really appreciate. So yeah, that's just a bit about me. So my parents are actually reverts, but I was born Muslim, so I just wanted to share a bit about their growing up from a revert family and growing up being born Muslim with revert parents. My dad is still a revert, alhamdulillah. Unfortunately my mom is not, but that's okay. And they are divorced, so life goes a bit downward sometimes, but you gotta look up and be positive. So yeah, I feel like when my mum came off the deen, she decided not to be a Muslim anymore. I took it really hard, I think, because she was the only female role model that was constant in my life, and I felt like when she made this choice it affected me a lot because I looked up to her a lot, and just seeing her wearing the Islamic clothing, wearing the hijab, it warmed my heart, you know. And when a big change like this happens so young, I think this was about maybe 5 years ago, maybe a bit longer, I'm not really sure, but when a big change like this happens, I feel like it affects you, especially if you're a young age and you don't have another female, or you don't have relatives who support you going through this time. It kind of just happened and we had to just accept it, basically. So it kind of relates into one of the points that I'm about to bring up, which is loneliness. I feel like reverts, they get really lonely sometimes, and I feel like I've gone through this loneliness that they feel as well, because it's hard when you don't have, I'm not saying all reverts, all of their families are non-Muslim and they're not welcome to the idea of their child or their family member has reverted to Islam, but sometimes it gets lonely when you don't have that, when you don't have the support from family, when you don't have support from anyone. It gets tough and you feel alone, and although there's a massive community out there, especially in London, it's hard. I feel like there's not really a community. That's how I feel personally. Obviously when I was younger, I grew up in a small community. Like my parents, they knew quite a lot of Muslims. We spent a lot of time with them, but I feel like when you're young, your parents make effort with you to go out, take you, and to socialise with other people. But I feel like as you get older, that kind of disappears. That effort disappears and you become more independent. You're doing your own thing and they make, you know, less effort. But that's just from my experience. So yeah, loneliness, and it can really be hard on a person. I feel like loneliness, it was really hard on me. Like, I've gone through depression. I've been in a really bad place in my life, but I've come through that, and I know that that's because I've had faith in Allah and Islam, and I appreciate that. And obviously everyone's situation is different, but as long as you know that you have the faith there, I think you'll be okay. But with reverts, I think it's a bit difficult because they're coming into this new religion and they're all alone. Not all of them, but the ones that I've spoken to and read about, they just feel like alone, they get neglected. I just feel like we should make more effort as a community to try to welcome them in more and socialise with them more. Kind of like in Islamic countries. I don't know if many of you guys have been to an Islamic country in Ramadan or during Eid. It is like the most magical time. It's like Christmas for Muslims, as you could say. But yeah, it's really, the environment is really, really refreshing compared to being in London and just having, I guess, the whole majority of society not understanding what you're going through. So yeah, loneliness it really affected me, and I think it really affects a lot of reverts. So the next point I kind of want to go on to next, and I kind of went into it, was Islamic events and celebrations. So for example, Ramadan, we fast for a month. In London it is quite hard because if you're working or in school, we can't really take that time off. I mean, if you're working, you can request holidays in advance, but chances are you're going to be working a bit through Ramadan, which is cool because I've done this for many years now, and I actually find that it's not that bad working during Ramadan as you think. Like, time goes quick. You are exhausted and tired, but if you don't think about the hunger and like the fact that you can't eat, I feel like if you don't think about it, if you don't concentrate on it, you can just get past it in no time. Like, it's not that hard, I think. But we do have long hours in the UK, so we do like roughly 19 hours during like spring, summer time. So yeah, just I feel like in Ramadan and during Eid, some reverts, I feel like they're really lonely. They don't have people to celebrate and experience with. I think last Ramadan for me was like one of the worst Ramadans. I think it was the worst Ramadan for me. It was just horrible. Like, I was alone. I was working, but I didn't feel connected in any way to the religion, and I don't know, maybe it was because of me. I wasn't being sociable enough and I wasn't interacting with other Muslims, and I don't know, it was really hard last year. I'm not entirely sure why, but I just don't want to experience that again. So I feel like this year I really want to make more of an effort to do something for reverts and just welcome them more into the community and into Islam, and just make them feel like they do have other choices rather than to be alone. Especially during Eid, because a lot of Muslims, they spend with their family, and if you don't have family because you're a revert, or you come from revert families, and you just, I don't know, not a lot of people share that experience with you. But I guess you can share it with your family. Like, who's to stop you from giving Eid presents to your family even if they're not Muslim? I don't know, for me I feel like you should try to share this experience with them. You should try to bring them into the culture, I mean not the culture, the religion, sorry, and just let them experience for themselves how it is, because you never know, it could be eye-opening for them. They could see how it is for you, they might even support you more. But yeah, I feel like it's really hard during these times, even during Salah. Like, I know you're not going to be praying all the time with people, but when you do, when you have a family and they're Muslims and you all pray together, it's like, it's such a, I don't know how to explain it, it's a really good feeling. I mean, we used to do that when I was younger, and it was really happy for me. It was like a really happy moment and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I feel like it's quite hard for reverts if you don't have that support, basically. Another point I think is coming from a country-wise, like your background. If you come from like the Middle East or some European countries, Africa, and you'll come from an Islamic state, I feel like Islam has been there for generations. So your family, like in generations, have had this experience of Islam like throughout generations, and it's obviously passed down to their offspring, which I feel like is such an amazing, it's just a gift. For me it's a gift. Like, I would love it if I had more of my family who were Muslims and who embraced Islam. Like, it's just like, I feel like family, like you're stuck with your family, so there's no, like, you can't pick and choose your family. It's hard when they're not Muslims because they don't understand certain things. Some people don't want to accept it, and it's just like I'm going back to the point of loneliness, but loneliness I feel like is really, really, really one of the most important issues that need to be addressed, because loneliness is not a nice thing, and if you're not careful you can be in a very, very bad place, and I wouldn't wish that for anyone. Like, especially a Muslim, like not a Muslim but especially like someone of the same culture as me, and if I feel like not culture, someone of the same religion as me, and I feel like if I can do something to prevent that, then I should, and I really want to. But going back to the culture thing, sorry I'm going off track, I just feel like you have more of a strong connection with Islam. I'm not saying this happens to everyone who's from an Islamic country and from an Islamic background. I'm just saying, like, to have that experience going through generations, I feel like it's strong, and everyone is doing the same thing as you. You have a lot of support from people. I guess Eid would be like crazy because all your family like gathered together, your cousins, your aunts, your grandparents. Like, I feel like it would be such a magical experience to have. So I think I'm trying to think what else I can say. There was a lot more I wanted to say but I kind of forgot. Yeah, I think that's the majority of what I wanted to say, and I just feel like, I don't know if this happens everywhere in the world. Like, obviously it happens in some parts of the UK or some parts of the world, but I just want to know you guys' experience. Like, do you know any reverts who are going through the same thing, or do they have a better experience? Like, let me know, because I really want to expand my knowledge in this area, and I really want to try and change how it is in London for me. I just want to be more open, in an open community with Islam and with people, and I kind of want to like bring that sense of family to London, because like we're meant to be an ummah, one big community together, but I feel like in London that doesn't happen, so I kind of want to bring that. So yeah, let me know your ideas, experiences, let me know if you agree or disagree with some of the points, yeah, so basically that's just the end of my video. I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's really important to me, and I really want to change how it is for me in London this year. So hopefully I can make a change. But I hope you enjoyed my video. Sorry if I rambled on a bit too much, or if I was a bit everywhere. This is not really structured, but yeah, you get the gist of it. So yeah, I just want to say peace and love to you guys. I'm all about peace and love. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just let me know what you think. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.